Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a story so wild, so unbelievable, you'd swear it was ripped straight from a Hollywood script. Imagine a man who created an entire army that didn't even exist, a phantom force so convincing, it completely fooled one of the most ruthless dictators in history. Yes, we're talking about a man who tricked Hitler himself and, in doing so, played an absolutely critical role in saving D-Day. This isn't just a tale of espionage, it's a masterclass in audacity, quick thinking, and sheer, unadulterated nerve. Get ready, because this is going to be an incredible ride. So, who was this incredible individual? His name was Juan Pujol García, a seemingly ordinary Spanish chicken farmer with an extraordinary dream to do everything in his power to stop Nazism. He absolutely despised totalitarian regimes, having seen firsthand the devastation of the Spanish Civil War. But here's the kicker, he wasn't a soldier, he wasn't a seasoned spy, and he had no formal training in intelligence gathering. Yet, this unassuming man would become one of the most pivotal double agents of World War II, known by his British codename Garbo. Garbo's story truly begins when he tried to offer his services to the Allies. He was passionate, but without any connections or experience, he was repeatedly rejected. Can you imagine the frustration? But Garbo wasn't one to give up. So, he approached the German intelligence service, Abwehr, offering to spy for them. Remarkably, they bought it. They gave him training, a hefty sum of money, and sent him off to London to establish a spy network. Except that Garbo never actually went to London. He went to Lisbon, Portugal, instead, and from there, he started sending reports to his German handlers. And this is where the genius truly begins. From a hotel room in Lisbon, Garbo began weaving an elaborate web of deception. He created an entire network of imaginary subagents, yes, completely fictional people who he claimed were diligently gathering intelligence across Britain. He gave them names, personalities, backstories, even families. There was his contact in Glasgow, a disgruntled Welsh nationalist, a supposedly anti-American Venezuelan in Liverpool, a German airline pilot, even a Gibraltarian seaman. He meticulously crafted their reports using public information like railway timetables, tourist guides, and even newsreels he'd seen in cinemas. He'd then add convincing details, making it all sound incredibly authentic. He sent letters, often deliberately delaying them slightly, to make it seem like his agents were genuinely risking their lives to gather intelligence. The Germans were so impressed, they paid for these 27 non-existent agents and even awarded Garbo for his incredible work. Finally, after months of Garbo essentially tricking the Germans, British intelligence caught wind of these remarkably detailed but slightly off-kilter reports the Germans were receiving. They realized someone was feeding the Germans convincing but ultimately false information. They tracked him down in Lisbon and, realizing his incredible potential, formally recruited him. And so, Juan Pujol García, the man who had already fooled the Nazis, became Garbo, a fully fledged double agent working for the Allies, but still loyal to the Germans. From that point on, under the guidance of MI5 officer Thomas Harris, Garbo continued to expand his fictional network, growing it to an astounding 27 agents and over 100 sub-agents. All feeding false but plausible information to the German high command. The Germans had such faith in Garbo that they considered his network one of their most reliable sources. This elaborate charade reached its absolute peak during the preparations for D-Day, the Allied invasion of Normandy. The success of this massive undertaking hinged on one crucial element: surprise. The Allies needed to convince Hitler that the invasion would happen somewhere else entirely, thereby diverting German troops away from the actual landing sites. This was where Operation Fortitude came in, and Garbo was its undisputed star. His mission: to convince Hitler that the real invasion would land at Pas-de-Calais, the closest point between England and France, and not Normandy. Garbo and his MI5 handlers began sending a deluge of fabricated reports to the Germans. His fictional agents described massive troop concentrations, vast quantities of supplies, and even fake landing crafts being assembled in southeastern England, all pointing towards Pas-de-Calais. He talked about new units that were actually phantom divisions created by the Allies for this very purpose. He even created a fake radio network, complete with dummy transmissions, to simulate the presence of a huge invading force, the first U.S. Army Group Fusag, which was, in reality, nothing more than inflatable tanks and trucks. The Germans, utterly convinced by Garbo's detailed and consistent reporting, believed every word. They were so certain that Pas-de-Calais was the target that they held back their elite panzer divisions there, waiting for an invasion that would never come. He argued vehemently that the real invasion was still coming there. And because the Germans trusted Garbo above almost all other sources, Hitler bought it. He kept his vital panzer divisions stationed in Pas-de-Calais, rigidly guarding an empty coastline, even as the Allied forces were securing their foothold in Normandy. The delay in deploying these critical reinforcements gave the Allies precious hours and days, which were absolutely vital for establishing the beachheads and pouring troops and supplies into France. Without this incredible deception, the Normandy landings could have faced a far more formidable, and potentially catastrophic, German defense. The impact of Garbo's deception was simply monumental. The success of D-Day, one of the most critical turning points of World War II, was secured in no small part by the phantom army he created and the elaborate lies he told. Because Hitler and his generals were so thoroughly convinced by Garbo's intelligence, they delayed moving their most powerful units to Normandy. This allowed the Allied forces to gain a crucial foothold, establish their positions, and begin the liberation of Western Europe. It truly saved countless lives and significantly shortened the war. The war ended, and Juan Pujol García, the unassuming chicken farmer turned master spy, received recognition that was almost as unbelievable as his story itself. For his extraordinary services to the Allied cause, he was awarded the MBE Member of the Order of the British Empire by King George VI. But here's the truly astounding part. For his invaluable intelligence to the Third Reich, he was also awarded the Iron Cross by Hitler himself. He holds the unique distinction of being one of the very few individuals to receive high honors from both warring sides, a testament to the unparalleled success of his deception. He managed to pull off one of the greatest hoaxes in military history, living a quiet life after the war, his incredible exploits only coming to light decades later. So, what can we take away from the incredible life of Juan Pujol García, codenamed Garbo? Here's a man who never fired a single bullet, never commanded a single regiment, and yet, through sheer cunning, intellect, and courage, he may have saved millions of lives. His story reminds us that heroism comes in many forms, and sometimes, the most powerful weapon isn't a gun, but the human mind. It's a powerful lesson in the impact one individual can have, even against overwhelming odds, through ingenuity and determination. What an extraordinary legacy! Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through history. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please give this video a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into amazing stories. Until next time, stay curious.